electricity and gases, electrons, and my invention of the mass spectrometer. I was born in Manchester, England on December 18, 1856. I have two siblings, a sister and a brother. My mom, Emma Swindles, and my father, George Paget Thomson, always called me JJ. My father, George, was a book salesman and always wanted me to be an engineer, but he later died when I was 16. When my father died, I wasn't able to study engineering anymore because of the additional fees at my school. So instead, I started to study physics, which I became very fond and good at. When I was 14, I went to Owens College. Then I later studied in Cambridge and Manchester College. After that, I was elected Fellow of the Royal Society. Then, a little while later, I became president and received the Royal Hughes Medal in 1896. After that, I went to Princeton and Yale and gave a couple courses at one of the colleges there. I met a young lady named Rose Elizabeth. We later got married January 22, 1890. Then we had a child, George Paget Thomson, named after my father, who is a professor of physics at London University, and a daughter who is also an accomplished physicist. Her name's Joanne. Some of my discoveries are that atoms are not invisible, but are actually made up of smaller particles, electrons. I had three major theories. Cathode rays are charged particles, which I call corpuscles. 2. Corpuscles are constituents of the atom. And 3. The corpuscles are the only constituents of the atom. Unfortunately, my last hypothesis was wrong. One of my inventions is the mass spectrometer. It produces charged particles from the chemical substances that are to be analyzed. The mass spectrometer then uses electromagnetic fields to measure the mass of the charged particles. It's used for all kinds of chemical analysis, ranging from environmental analysis to the analysis of petroleum products, trace metals, and biological materials. When I was at Cambridge, I was doing an experiment with electricity in tubes. In the waves, there were smaller particles, which is then when I proposed my theory of electrons. In 1906, I was awarded with the Nobel Peace Prize for my work with electricity and gases and electrons. As I got older, I was chosen to be the master of my old college, Trinity, but I later retired and went to Cambridge, and Trinity is now Manchester. But then I later died of old age at Cambridge, August 30th, 1940. I was buried in Westminster Abbey next to Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin.